Welcome to Safari Live. You're joining us live from the African bush. My name is Brent Leo Smith. I've got Andrew Francis on camera. We have James Henry and Brian Joubert on walk this morning. So we are hot on the heels of the Nkuhuma Pride, who we left last night, heading west. I'm coming to check this area around Impala Plains for tracks, and hopefully we get some tracks, and before it gets too hot and they become immobile, we find those lions. It's a balmy 19 degrees, 66 Fahrenheit, 19 Celsius. As you can see, no jersey required, barely a cloud in the sky. I think it's going to be a stinker today. Nice and hot. I'm glad no rain in sight. So when we first get going in the morning, I've got to check the game drives, check in with the game drive, so I'm just going to see if there are any updates. You'll notice my head careering off to the side of the vehicle, and I'm looking for tracks. So looking for tracks of generally the predators: lion, leopard, wild dog, cheetah. So we left those lions probably about 300 meters from here last night. I'm just double checking that they didn't cross back to the north. Morning mobile stations, route and update please. Good, thank you. Copy, thanks. I'm on Impala Plains. I'm going to check quickly last tracks within Nkuhumas. If nothing, I would like to move into that area to give all to hand. Thank you very much and have a good morning. So, while we look for these lions, I've just got an update that Aubrey has heard a leopard calling close to the Juma dam cam. So, anyone who watches that dam cam religiously, keep your eyes open. Hopefully that leopard pops into sight and we can get there before it disappears. And we do have a player in the game, so to speak. James is in that area having a look with Aubrey before he starts to walk. yesterday's sunrise safari was cut short due to weather. And Liz in Wisconsin's wondering how much rain we got yesterday. Liz, almost nothing. It was more of a heavy mist and drizzle, probably less than a millimeter. So not really anything that would change the bush a lot. The only thing that weather does sometimes bring out is a few wildflower species, so I will be checking for them. But no rain as such, more of it just a dampening. So we have a very, very touchy subject to speak about, and I think let's just get this over and done with. It's from James Doherty II. Are James and I in mourning today? We are, but we're pretending it didn't happen, and we're just going to pretend we didn't have a TV, and all we do is look for animals, and we don't support any rugby. The South African national team, the Springboks, were beaten by the All Blacks by 2 points last night in the Rugby World Cup semi-final. So anyone who's not an All Black supporter, I encourage you to join me in supporting Los Pumas. We shall be supporting Argentina for the rest of the World Cup. And the main reason is that the All Blacks have won the World Cup twice, Australia have won the World Cup twice, we've won the World Cup twice. So I'd rather have the Pumas win the World Cup once, and we all just stay on equal footing for this World Cup. And it would be really great for the Pumas. They've come an incredible long way. So we left the lines lying pretty much where the sun came up last night. And I'm just going to check for tracks. Just double check that junction. I was still in shock in the morning about the Springboks losing. Forgot to look for lion tracks at that junction. I'm pretty sure they've crossed west. What I am hoping is they've crossed into Arathusa and not further to the west where we aren't able to traverse.
Morning, mobile stations. Any update? Morning, Craig. Update as well. Station as well.
There we go. There the tracks.
Negative, correct. Okay, copy. Assurance is
Let go to the right,
I see it.
apparently it's audio coming from the east.
Here we go. Heading west, I think on the trail of those buffalo. So let's go check our western boundary. Hopefully those lions haven't moved too far, but I do think they were on that herd of buffalo, which actually crossed outside of our Travis area. But who knows, they might have found something before they got there. So for those of you who might have missed last night's sunset safari, we are following the tracks of the Nkahuma Pride minus Junior. I still think they've gone that way, but you always got to double check. So I'm going to head up here to see if we get any tracks coming out onto this road. Unfortunately, this is a main access road into the reserve, so there are vehicles that traverse it all hours of the night. And sometimes they do drive over tracks, obviously not intentionally. I'm just going to change radio channels. to the Western Channel, that's the Arethusa Channel. Morning mobile stations, Brent from WildEarth. Update for us. Good morning, please.
Morning, Brent. Those vessels that are from Safari following up on course from the Building Garden around their driveway heading north.
Copy, thanks. Doug, I'm following Gonzo from Nkohumas. I think they're heading towards Sibambili side. We left them on Impala planes.
Hello.
Welcome back, sorry about that. Seems like there's a gremlin in this fresh morning air playing with our signal.
Shortcut coming north.
So it sounds like the tracks of male lions, probably the Birminghams, just to the south of us. What I'm going to do is I'm going to check where the Nkohumas cross first, and then I think I'm going to head down there because they are heading towards the Juma, those male lion tracks. Checking carefully where the ground's a bit hard for the tracks, and while we're doing that, we've got a question from Bob in Iowa. And Bob is wondering, do all big cats, lions, leopards, jaguars, kill their prey in the same way? By strangulation. Bob, all of them will use that strangulation method. There is that special gap between the canines and the premolars that pinches the esophagus of their prey closed, but it also just depends on the size of the prey. Smaller prey will just normally be dispatched with a bite to the skull. Where there is larger prey, yes, suffocation is used. There's different suffocation holds. So the most common one, and if they are able to, they will use the one around the esophagus. But lions with a big prey like a buffalo quite often use they don't really have a choice. They'll actually bite onto the animal's mouth and nose area and sort of and then actually suffocates by drowning almost, as the blood will fill up from that animal's nostrils through to its lungs. Andrew, I'm not seeing any tracks here. Do you think these lions might have done a loop-de-loop and headed back north? I would have said from where we had the last tracks, they should come out in this little section here. Let's check through to that dip and then we'll turn around. No tracks. Conundrum. Out here at Safari Live, we do like a bit of a challenge. And as you've heard, we do take questions, and you are able to send us questions live in the African bush. And for the tech savvy, they have Twitter. just use the hashtag Safari Live in your tweets. And if you prefer a little bit of privacy, you can send us an email on questions@wildearth.tv. And please also remember to let us know where you're from. We love hearing the far-flung places of the world that our viewers are hiding in. Okay. While we're in search of these lines, I don't have any tracks coming out here, which is very interesting. And this could tie in quite nicely. Last night, after the Springboks' very disappointing loss, I was sitting outside on the balcony and I could hear male lions calling. And Ashley from North Carolina is wondering, can a lioness tell from a male lion's roar whether it is the dominant male of their, that dominates over their pride, or is an outsider? Actually, I think definitely they can tell, and I think the one reason why these lions might have changed their complete direction and gone north is because from these tracks that are coming up the road towards us, the male lions that the guys from Arathusa are following, and I think it's probably the Birminghams. And if they'd heard the Birminghams calling, they definitely would have skedaddled to try to protect that sub-adult female. I'm just gonna jump up here so I can see the tracks a bit better. Oh, I just need to listen to this quickly. One of the terrible things about these main access roads is the corrugations that form as people travel a bit faster, and it can make you so if there are a bit of bumps, sorry, you can't avoid them. The whole road is made up of them. Where could these lions be? On the subject of the Birmingham boys, Blair Sinclair said that apparently the Birminghams have been named the Gowrie males by Mala Mala. Now, sorry, just keeping up to date. Well, Mala Mala is a bit of a different one. They're very, they sort of act autonomously from the rest of the Sabi Sands. And for them, those males have come from Gowrie, which is this area. So they possibly don't know the history that they came from the Manuleti originally. So I think that's why they've been called the Gowrie males. I mean, when I was at Londolozi, we used to call the main pride of lions we had there the Sparta Pride, and Mala Mala used to call them the Ifield Pride. We used to call one of our dominant male leopards the short-tailed male, and Mala Mala used to call them the bicycle crossing male. And generally everywhere else we try to keep the names the same, but for some reason Mala Mala seems to like to name things of its own accord, and that's their own choice. Okay, this is getting quite interesting. fact that we haven't found any tracks, and it's unlikely that I'm going to miss tracks on a big sandy road like this, especially not of the pride of lions. Just keep checking down. Maybe here. Nope. I'm just going to be on the radio again for a second. Cedric.
Hey, Bob.
Morning, Brent here. What's the update on those in Cornwall?
Still going southern fork and passing to Lolo, heading in a north-westerly direction towards Cutline, Shugodi Pan.
Okay, copy, thanks. Last tracks for Inkahumas were also heading in that general direction from Impala Plains.
Interesting, sure. Now we're going to take a look here. I'm going to take a look on the Cutline, see where they crossed.
Copy, thanks. Oh dear. Sounds like the male lines and the Nkahuma tracks general direction is they're going to converge, but we're going to go back to the last tracks of those lines and see if we can figure out where they went. And I think it's that big herd of buffalo that went that way that all the lions are converging on. And obviously for the Nkahumas, it's a bit of a risk if the Birminghams are there. That's bad news for us. Those male lion tracks have crossed out of our Traverse area. And while we try to figure out where the Nkahumas have gone, we've got another question from my friend Dylan, who's 10 years old. Hi, Dylan. Dylan would like to know, as a safari guide, do they ever do safaris for children or just for adults? Well, Dylan, I used to do very special safaris for children as well as adults. So a family safari, so mom, dad, and the kids on safari, and I've done them all over Africa. And kids safaris or family safaris can be really fun. We get to do lots of fun things like make plaster of Paris tracks. And all kids who come on one of my safaris, when I was a safari guide, do a junior rangers course. So it's not only a holiday, I give you guys some homework. So a nice little course, so you get to know the difference between a lion track and a leopard track, and what are the common birds, the big eagles. So I've taken many kids on safari. I was also a kid on safari for a long time. Okay, it sounds like those male lion tracks have headed towards us.
One up there. Okay, well, we chose one, okay, I just quarter that off down there. I see them.
I said I'm on Triple M heading north, following up on those Nkahumas tracks. Is there anywhere you'd like me to check particularly? I'm from Impala Plains Junction.
Yeah, somewhere north of it, just the best environment, just to take back into Williams,
Copy, we will do. So it looks like those male lion tracks have cut east So we're going to unfortunately be back on the corrugated road, but it's further to the north than where we first, where we turned around when we were looking for the Nguluma tracks. Fingers crossed. Moving down this nice, or not so nice, it's very corrugated, big sandy road. Evil imp is wondering, is the sand put down to try to smooth out the roads, or is it naturally like this? Well, it's actually naturally like this. In areas where there's a lot of clay, they'll sometimes put a layer of a cap over it so you don't get stuck or sink.
So yeah, at the moment, Metro 1 open up and taking this direction.
Andrew, you checking way down the road up from high there, see if you can spot those lines. That is not a lion, that is a warthog. Is it? A very big warthog. Okay, you're not a lion, warthog. Warthogs are one of our directors. Tara is her favorite animal, so there we go, Tara. I'm afraid we might come back to the warthog, but we're on the tracks of lions at the moment. So, Ashley from North Carolina would like to know, what is the largest pride of lions we see regularly? Well, it was probably the Nkahumas originally, but obviously they've lost a few individuals to the Birminghams. The largest pride of lions I've seen since I've been Safari Live is a pride called the Salala Breakaways, or Mangan pride, and I think there were 14 of them the last time we saw them, and we had actually fantastic sighting in the mist. You spotted something, Andrew?
Negative.
And we've had an incredible sighting in the mist on the Arathusa airstrip. Sorry guys, I'm not looking at you because I don't want to. I just really have to check very carefully here. The ground's quite hard and we don't want to miss the tracks of those male lions. And you can feel the corrugations. And the biggest pride of lions I've seen ever was in the Masai Mara, and I think it just happened to be two prides that had split that came together at the time, but there were 48 lions on two buffalo kills. And in South Africa, some of the biggest prides of lions live not too far from the east of us on the basalt plains around Satara in the Kruger National Park. And I used to work in that area, and we had a pride that we called Mountain Pride, but when they became famous on National Geographic. They got called the Mega Pride, and they were around varying between 35 and 45 animals in that pride regularly. And they did do a show on them. That area, nice big basalt grasslands below the Lubombo Mountains. A lot of wildebeest, zebra, buffalo, so lots to eat. That's why the prides in that area can be so big. Okay, come on. So the last tracks of those lions were about 400 meters to the west of us. And we are hoping they've come east. We can't drive to the east of us here, coming to the west of us. I've got a feeling if they have crossed, there's a set of really big game paths on the top of this hill that I've found their tracks on regularly. And definitely doesn't look like the Nkuhumas have come through here, so they must have changed direction. I wonder if it's because of the Birminghams. Or these male lions. We're not 100% who they are yet.
Check down one up and nothing crossing over here. One up and open now. Get through one up and finish it off and then I'll go that side.
Okay, we're getting into this area of very large game paths that I've it's on many tracks on lion and leopard and wild dogs.
Sean again. What is the line? I don't know where Roy is. I know Roy was helping us out inside as well. Maybe ask Roy if he's still in the area. Copy that, thank you. Roy again.
Hyena tracks. Andrew, are you napping or looking for lions?
I'm searching.
Good man.
Better go one and close the country road here, one outside road going straight north.
So while we are scouring high and low for lions, Christopher Numa from Arizona would like to know, can a female lion kill a male lion in a one-on-one battle? Most definitely not. A male lion is probably 200 pounds heavier than a lioness. Lioness is around 120 kilograms. Male lions around 220, can go up to 250. Much physically stronger than a lioness, and there's zero chance she would win a battle. Okay. Coming up towards, there's a big game path around here. So far, no lion tracks, but this is where the buffalo crossed yesterday.
One up band road, one up band open, crossing over straight north. Firework. We got the triple M and single doing crossing.
Okay, now you can see the herd, the buffalo tracks here. So we've got to look very carefully to spot the lion track, if there is one, amongst all the buffalo tracks. That's why I'm going very, very slowly and checking very, very carefully. We don't want to be the ones who miss the tracks. It'd be a bit embarrassing.
Shot. Good. Taking the front rock. I'm on my way there now. I'm almost at 1 hour pad again. Yeah, copy. I'll do the front brake and just take it there. Okay, cool. So it doesn't put it on the front brake. Sorry.
Come on, hippie cats. So, we would, while we're searching here, that lioness of the Nkuhuma Pride who had that very distinct limp yesterday on the sunset safari, and Mike from Florida is wondering, how often do lions actually get killed by giraffe or injured by giraffe? Well, when they go for giraffe, Mike, it does happen quite often, and normally the most common injury that kills a lion when hunting giraffe is a broken jaw. So they get a good kick, it breaks their jaw, and then they die from that. But I mean, lions do such, I mean, when they're hunting big game, it's such a sort of really aggressive thing that they do get injured from time to time. But as I said, they've got an incredible capacity for healing, but they can die. And when hunting buffalo, giraffe, and sorry guys, I'm just trying to listen to the radio.
Are you saying they're going empty wheels, eh? Oh, no, negative. It's just they're wanting corns off for that bed that you guys had in the old wall.
And sorry, I'm just listening very carefully to the radio. No updates yet. So the glass tracks are very close to where we are here, and I can't see any tracks crossing out yet. But lions do get injured very often when they hunt those game. It's not, the big game. It's not often that they get killed. Oh, we're causing a traffic jam here. We've got Sean behind us from Arethusa, as well as some other people who are probably on their way to town. And there you have us dilly-daddling at slow speed trying to look for tracks. So we're just going to move off the road and let the other vehicles go past. We're right at the gate. Morning.
Long time.
Long time.
Yeah, man.
How you been?
Surviving. How are you?
How's your leave?
Very relaxed.
Hi.
Hi. It's good. I think the Nkuhumas did a zigzag as well. They were heading straight for here. Last tracks around the Impala Plains, but nothing coming out. So I think they heard this light. And
We're across 1 hour pad there. Quite a few, not the ones that says extracting.
is it different? So that could be the Nkuhumas.
Yeah. There's they cross, yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Simba Morgan's pulling in, so don't think they've crossed on the fire breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there we go. Sean giving us an update. The lions are close by, but where we can't go.
Enjoy.
So we're going to go try to find that leopard that was calling. Enjoy, everyone. All right. That's a busy spot. Everyone tracking these lions. So we've got Sean, now we've got Doug coming past. Morning meetings all around. But it's not Doug, it's Dan. Hey, for once the lions go our way. So they've crossed, but unfortunately it's very close to the Buffalo's Hook boundary. And this is that Bermuda Triangle where the animals often just skip through us and go to the north. Morning. Oh. I will, all for 100 meters till they go into Buffalo's Hook. So here we go. Let's have a look here. There the male lion tracks. You see them there, Andrew? We're a bit close. Here we go. So let's hope they've decided to stay on Juma and not cross out of our area. And I'm just changing radio channels quickly. The station's been on the Western Channel. Update, please. Where did those tracks go?
Range Lulu 25. They're going to check in the cut line behind the road area.
Copy. Looks like Nkonzo of a few Wanuna and Galas come in from the gates towards Sydney's dam. Following up.
Okay, thanks. Do you mind if I come to your area? That's fine.
Not at all, Andrew. Please make your way. So the tracks look like they've crossed.
Should have passed on to the
They have crossed into. Then. So I apologize, this is a very well-known bad signal area. It's the same area where the Salala Pride killed those 4 buffalo in 4 days. So we're just going to go very slowly through here and hope the lines are still on our side. There's the boundary coming up in front of us.
Where are you taking out? I'll take a small get up and cut towards the boundary. So I'll go to
So these big paths here are often where the lines cross. Unfortunately, they have gone straight north into Ruffles Hook. That looks like the Nkrumah Pride tracks there. And anyway, well, we'll be moving. There and there. Oh dear. Oh dear. So we are in this very bad signal area and I'm going to move through it. So while we do that, we're going to cross across to the fearless Commander Bond, who's got a different cat's tracks.
Good morning everyone. I'm standing here on a termite mound. Clearly I haven't grown in the night, unfortunately, and we are looking desperately for leopard tracks. Now we've heard male leopard calling. A lot of our keen viewers heard him on the Juma Dam cam. Now the Juma Dam is a long way from here and there's clearly a male leopard around here. We've got tracks around the area looking. There's a male leopard trying to mark his territory. Where he is, we don't know. We've got Aubrey and Taxon driving around the block. The trackers are in the bush here and we've come in to see if we can't find him as well. It would be tremendously exciting, especially because I think it's probably Mvula, which is the territorial male leopard from this area. I've only seen him a few times and I quite like him. He's my sort of go-to guy, if you like. So I'd be very excited to see him. I'm standing up here for 2 reasons. One, because it's a termite mound and I look larger than I might otherwise. And 2, because, well, it's a good vantage point. And you often find animals standing on things like termite mounds because they are good vantage points. Now, in case you're wondering, my name is James. On Brian we have, on camera we have Brian, not on Brian we have camera. That's not how the sentence works. And we are on a live safari. Even though we're on foot, please talk to us. Happy to answer your questions and hear your comments. I might have to go silent every so often just to have a listen to what's going on, but we're still interactive and live. So hashtag Safari Live us if you're tweeting. Otherwise, questions at wildearth.tv. Now, I believe those lions have crossed in a northerly direction, which is very irritating of them, highly selfish, to have gone off into Buffelshoek. But with any luck, this male leopard will be around here at some stage today. Even if not, it is the most wonderful morning. I'm standing here, the new sun warming my face. I mean, I think that new sun will probably boil me by the end of the day. But right now, with the gentle breeze coming out of the north and the eastern sun on my face, it's just very, very marvelous. Right, we're going to carry on. I don't think we have very strong signal here, so if we walk, I think you'll lose us. So let's go back to Brent. Apparently he has a surprise for you. We'll see you just now.
Yeah, but... So guys, stop. I'm going to get Andrew to stop there. What can you see in that shot? What can you see? What have we found? And if we go in a bit tighter... Sorry, I'm just being called on the radio. There we go. Head up. So there we go. It looks like the Inkahumas.
Okay, copy. So, no.
I think I heard you.
There we go. Is that? No, it's not. Is that a young male?
They got him there. Brent got him. Must be maybe presenting. Yeah.
Is that a young male? Where are my binoculars?
On the right, it could be.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder who that is. Is this the Nkahumas? That is the question. Has Junior made a sudden appearance? Let me just get my binoculars out of my bag and have a close look. It's a young male, but I don't think it's Junior. I don't think this is the Nkahumas. Oh boy, now we're going to play Guess the Line again.
I guess 6.
I don't know what is going on here. Let me just... I just got to... Sorry, the guys are trying to get hold of me on the radio quite desperately. Stations, I'm not sure. It's not Wanunangara. It's a Pride, and it's a bit far for me to see which Pride. Almost looks like it could be Shimungwe, but I'm not 100%. Copy, thanks Andrew. Sorry about that, guys. So I'm as confused as you about which lines these are, so I'm just going to try to have a proper look in the binos. I think, yeah, that is a young male to the right, but it's and I can see 3 lionesses. But also that young male looks too old to be Tsalala young male. Looks too young to be Junior. Could this be the Shimungwe Pride, or could this be a little off-break of the Talamati Pride, who I've never seen before? Oh, these lions just keep leaving us with unanswered questions. Oh, she's a beautiful lioness, though. The one with her head up there. So unfortunately, we can't zoom anymore. We are at maximum zoom at the moment. So I'm just going to pop across to the Arethusa channel just to let them know what's going on and see if they might have an idea who these lions are. Sean or Cedric coming?
Standing by.
I said we've got Ngala at Sydney's Mighty, but it's not Wanuna, it's a Pride.
Okay, copy you, sir. Which Ngala is that there?
I don't know. I don't think I've seen these lions before. I can see 3 adult lionesses and a male of about 2.
Oh, okay, so not Birmingham, but okay, right? That's great.
Firm, yeah. No, not the Birminghams.
Okay, copy. Makuru, my daughters.
No, one young Wadora and 3 Mafais.
Okay, copy. Copy, thanks so much, mate.
Copy, no problem. Good luck with those Birminghams.
I think the same as one that we've been following, all the way through the dam side.
Okay, copy. Maybe Shimungwes. Do you know what the makeup of Shimungwes is?
3 more 5 is one my daughter.
Okay, copy. Thanks. Yeah, I think it's the Shimungwes.
Okay, thanks so much, sir.
Okay, so there we go. It could be the Shimungwe Pride, which is 3 females, 1 male, and that's what this looks to be. So this young male, he's in between the age of junior and the Tsalala young males.
Yeah, over there. And let's show which price. Maybe trying to get an idea of which one.
So that means Inkahumas are still MIA, and I don't see any tracks of them crossing to the west. So they could very well still be on Juma. Oh, Andrew, there's a giraffe. And it's spotted the lions. You can see the way it's looking using that superior height. There we go. Oh, lion! So we are sitting on the Buffels Hook Juma boundary at the moment, and those lions are lying in Buffels Hook, and unfortunately we don't have traverse. But this is the far western corner of Buffels Hook. So if we have a look back at the lions there, Andrew. So we're on the Juma's northern boundary, and just beyond the dam wall, not very far, is the Manuleti. So they're right in a tiny little corner. Oh, flop down. And the fence you see to the left is one of the landowners in Buffels Hook's houses. So if there are people, or their little safari lodge in the bush, so if there are people at the safari lodge, they don't even have to go and drive this morning. They can sip their coffee from the deck and view the lions. But I don't think there are any people there currently. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait here till Andrew arrives, and Andrew does have traverse in Buffels Hook, so he can get a bit closer and maybe give us a bit more information. But I'm pretty confident now, after chatting to Cedric from Arethusa, and just from the makeup and the age of that young male, that this is the Shimungwe Pride. So the Shimungwe Pride, many years ago, were known as the Castleton Pride. So the Tsalala Pride originally broke off from the Castleton Pride, and they were on a property far to the south and west of us called Singita. And the original farm name of one of the Singita, the areas that Singita is made up, is called Castleton. I'm not sure why the Pride name changed. Maybe they broke off. I'm not 100% sure of all the dynamics. But so they are actually distant relatives of the Tsalala Pride. And those giraffes are staring at those lions. So while we wait here, and hopefully those lions do get up and move towards us, we're going to go back to James and his leopard tracking.
Hello everybody, come a little closer here. We found some tracks of a leopard, the male leopard here on the ground. We're not going to be able to show them to you right here because the ground's just a little bit hard. But he's heading straight down along this ridge crest here. There's an old game path, and a game path is a sort of ancient route where animals used to move to and from water. And there is a game path here. Often they're maintained by elephants and rhino, and then they're used by things like this male leopard who's on his territorial marking. I haven't smelt him at all, but we did have his tracks. So we're going to sneak slowly forward down here. I think these things are fresh. As Steph likes to say, shining, they're so fresh. But he will be moving quite quickly, and you need to be very careful about watching the ground. And because he's not on a road, it's quite difficult to keep up with the tracks. Here we go. Stay close by. Like I say, it's the most glorious morning. And what we're going to be looking for is the flash of a tail, or just the kind of glint of the golden pelage as he disappears, because if he sees us, he'll probably, if we're at a decent distance, he'll just turn and look over his shoulder like this at us, and he'll freeze. But if he sees us and we're close by, he'll melt into the bush with an amazing speed. It's a wonderful thing to be walking along and suddenly you stop like this, and there's a leopard on all fours just staring over his shoulder at you like this, as if to say, what do you want? We look carefully here. Whenever there's a sandy patch, we're going to look in it and see if there's a track. I don't see any tracks in this particular one. But we'll keep going along the ridge crest here. And listening. Listening is extremely important. Brian's just hooked himself onto a Cambritan bush. Listening is extremely important. There might be animals alarm calling, birds alarm calling. There were monkeys shouting just now down there, and that's why we came up to this area, found the tracks. These are fresh. Oh, I don't know if you heard that. An oxpecker. Oxpecker, as most of you will know, is a tick bird, lives on animals and eats the ticks off them. It also, sorry, you can't hear me when I'm whispering. What it will also do is alarm call when if it's sitting on something like a buffalo or an impala or nyala. It'll alarm call at a predator or at us, and it just alarm called. I think at us. There. It was a steenbok. Steenbok running through the bush there. Quite interesting that steenbok should be running. We're going to just walk very slowly forward. I'm sorry if you can't hear me that well. I'm just going to move the microphone closer to my mouth, because we don't want to be walking through here going wah, 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 wah. So while we're listening and looking for the leopard tracks, Sandra, you want to know about ticks, and do we get them here? Yes, we do get them here. You can get tick bite fever, which is a fairly relatively mild disease. and you can only basically get it once if you're in an area and you've been here for a while. And we don't take huge precautions. Well, some of us don't. Brian is, and you've been here for a while. And we don't take huge precautions. Well, some of us don't. Brian is, or gators. Brian takes some fairly astounding precautions. There we go. There they are there. Those are right, now we've got a good sandy patch here. It's such a beautiful day. And I'm just looking here. I don't see any further tracks here on the sand. I think his general direction was to the east. So I think he's probably heading towards Buffelshoek Dam. So what we'll do is we'll carry on along this path and see where it takes us, and we'll just keep going. Right. Okay, let's quickly go back to Brent, and we'll keep you posted. We'll carry on following the tracks and see you just now.
So we're still sitting here with these very much flat cats. And as I said, just going to wait. Andrew's about to arrive, just so you can confirm that it is the Shimungwe Pride. And once we've got confirmation of that, we will possibly head off to try help James in that area, following up on those leopard tracks. And the lions are not moving. The giraffe are still staring at the lions. Oh, here comes Andrew. Morning, 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 morning.
Thanks so much.
No problem.
I'm going to try to get around.
Cool. I think it's Shimungwe's, but I can't see nicely from here.
Okay.
So I'll wait to hear from you how many are there. I think there's 3 lionesses, 1 young male.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks, Andrew.
Hey, guys.
Oh, the young male's head's up again. Couple of heads up. Let's have a look. Yeah, there's binoculars. Is that another young male? Oh, this is confusing. No, that's another young male. Maybe this is Talalis. But he looks a bit old. So now I can see 2 young males, 3 lionesses. I said it's very far for us, so it's quite difficult for us to see even in binoculars. Andrew, I've suddenly seen more Ngala. I think it could be Salala. I can see at least 2 young males now. So there's a little depression there. We need to see if there's... Let's see if it's a... there's a little depression there, and I think they were lying in it and we couldn't see them. Sometimes it's very frustrating. We're so close yet so far. And we haven't seen the distinct tailless lioness yet. But Andrew should be around there in a second, and he can let us know. And that young male with his head up there definitely looks like it's a Salala young male, right age. Maybe that one male, just the angle he was sitting at made him look a bit bigger than he is. As I said, this could be Another pride we don't know. There's an Egyptian goose waddling behind them. There comes Andrew. Wait patiently to hear from him. What else have they seen? They're not looking at the lines right now, they're looking at something else. But we can't see behind the bushes. I think maybe it was those giraffe. Maybe there's more lines down there that we can't see from here. Or just going around the pad. So I can see Andrew looking in his binoculars, trying to figure out which lines there are.
Brent, 3 young male and 2 cubs. But the young male is got another fresh wound in the back.
Okay, we know who it is now. Copy, thanks very much, Andrew. Salala. Is the tailless lioness missing, or is she there?
Maybe try and get more updates on it. So they confirm one of the young male on Salala there, he's got a wound.
Right. A-firm on, I think it's right next to his tail on the left-hand side, or could be right, I can't remember exactly. A-firm, sorry, Tsalala Pride. Okay, so we know who it is. It's the Tsalala Pride, that young male. There are 3 young males, and the one who's got a wound on the left-hand side of his tail. So mystery solved. Let's go see if we can help James find that leopard. So while we're moving away from here, let's have one last look at the lines. There's a few heads up. Elizabeth was wondering, is it common for lions to hunt elephants? And if so, how many lines do you need? Well, Elizabeth, a lot of animal behavior is area specific rather than species specific. And in this part of the world, lions very, very seldom hunt elephants. But northern Botswana, they do hunt quite regularly. I've actually seen it start to finish twice, and generally quite big prides. I mean, at least 6 or 7 adults, and they will take an elephant of about up between 15, maybe even a bit older than that sometimes. But let's keep our fingers crossed that they come back onto Djuma. I think they're gonna. They seem to like this area. This is the area where they killed those 4 buffalo in 4 days. Stations, just updates on those Ngala. It is the Tsalala Ngala at Sydney's Mati. Okay, we might get a little bit of signal breakup as we move through here, but I'm going to move as quickly as
Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it as fast as possible to get it sorted and get you back on the vehicle with us. Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it as fast as possible to get it sorted and get you back on the vehicle with us.
So, unfortunately, that area is a very well-known bad signal area, but we are out of it now. And so, Elizabeth, I was chatting about elephants hunting, that would be a sight, wouldn't it? Lions hunting elephants, and areas in northern Botswana, particularly the Kwondo, Linyanti and Savuti regions, are quite famous for elephant hunting lions. And I've actually been lucky enough to see it a couple of times in my life. But in this area, not very common. And also, what you're looking at with that is generally a big pride, at least 6 or 7 adult lionesses. And almost in all the times I've seen it, you need a couple of males as well. They're just so much stronger. Hyena, running hyena tracks. Such a beautiful morning. A little bit of cloud in the sky up there, but that's about it. So no report on the wild dogs today. So we've got quite a nice little question here, and it ties in with my friend Dylan's question from earlier about children's safaris. Ashley, who's in Los Angeles, is with her great niece Lauren, and Lauren would like to know, how old do you have to be to go on a safari? So that is a very, very interesting question, Lauren. So it all depends. You can be any age. You can be a baby and go on safari, but obviously you're not going to remember seeing all the wonderful animals. So I would generally say the minimum age for a safari is probably around 6 years old, 5-6 years old. Unfortunately, a lot of the lodges don't take children of that age on safari, mostly because a lot of people are going on holiday. Don't like little kids running around, but there are lodges that especially cater to family safaris and children's safaris, and also some of the other lodges will, but you have to have a private vehicle. So you will take a private vehicle for just your group, but there, as I said, there are lodges that specialize in family safaris as well and promote them. And so I'd say 5 or 6 at that age, you will have to take a private vehicle at most lodges, and so the kids are not with all the other guests. And a lot of that, there are lots of special things you can do with kids on safari. But just in terms of what they can remember and really enjoy, I would say 5 or 6 years old is a good age. Generally, some of the lodges that don't take kids, it is 12 is the minimum age for safari, and for walking safaris the minimum age is 16. I hope that helps. but oh, I see a car in the distance. I think that's Craig. We haven't actually seen much general game this morning.
Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it as fast as possible to get it sorted and get you back in the vehicle with us. Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it as fast as possible to get it sorted and get you back in the vehicle with us.
Sorry about that. Sometimes as we go through these big dips, we do have a bit of signal breakup, but that's because we are bringing the African an amazing thing. So we do have a few technical wobbles from time to time, and the longer we do it, the better we get at fixing those. So bear with us, and hopefully one day in the not too distant future we'll be able to have incredible and coverage and no signal breakup. I'm just going to chat to James quickly on the radio, see where he is walking. James. James, I've left Okangala. I'm heading now towards the general area of Buffalo's Hook Dam. Is there any area you would like me to check particularly? Copy, thank you very much. So James is still on those tracks, but in the area he's in, the backpack for the walks doesn't get very good signal. So he's in front of us here somewhere. He thinks this leopard is in the drainage line that comes from Buffalo's Hook Dam out and to the west of the dam. So I think we're just going to head down to the dam, see what we can see there, and maybe just stop and listen, see if we can hear any alarm calls. Well. Oh, hey. How's everyone doing? Good, good. Salala. Same place in front of Sydney's car. Okay, I'm gonna run away. You did get some Vula or?
Yeah, must be or another.
Okay. Enjoy, guys.
Bye-bye.
Looks like everyone's got the same plan today. Sorry about that. It's one of those little dips again. Oh, it looks like our hippo population at Buffelshoek is growing. I can now see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hippopotami.
There it is. Okay.
Unfortunately, guys, we've got a bit of a technical problem. And we'll just show you the hippos quickly, and then we're going to try fix it. We are going to have to go off air though, and
We're going to go get the other tripod.
so while we do that, let's go see what Commander Bond's doing on foot. Let's have a look.
Hello everybody. We've walked quite a distance since you last saw us. We came down off the ridge crest over there to the western side. We slipped down into a drainage line, came up the other side. Brian is being remarkably stealthy given firstly his mass and secondly the incredible mass that he's carrying. And now we're just near Buffelshoek Dam, and you might be able to hear over there some squirrels going absolutely crazy. And I wonder if they're not will go around that direction. I think we'll try and head down through here, see what we can see.
Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it as fast as possible to get it sorted and get you back on the vehicle with us. Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it as fast as possible to get it sorted and get you back on the vehicle with us. Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it as fast as possible to get it sorted and get you back on the vehicle with us. Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it as fast as possible to get it sorted and get you back on the vehicle with us.
Confirm that you're right in front of fitness tire.
Hello, everyone. Sorry about that. We were in.
Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it as fast as possible to get it sorted and get you back on the vehicle with us. Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it as fast as possible to get it sorted and get you back on the vehicle with us. Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it as fast as possible to get it sorted and get you back on the vehicle with us.
Hello everyone. Sorry about the slightly dodgy signal. A couple of technical hitches here. The hippopotamus are also about to experience something in the way of a technical hitch. You can see at this dam, the water is drying. Little islands of mud and dung are starting to show through the surface, and those hippos will be hunkering down as low as they possibly can in the water. But you can see that the water is reducing almost on a daily basis, we can see. Now, if we pan slowly to the right-hand side, you may be able to catch a glimpse of the recalcitrant Wendy. In it, of course, is the ever-enthusiastic Brent Leo Smith and the slightly mad Andrew Francis, and they are doing their level best to fix the camera there. Well, not the camera, the bit that attaches the camera to Wendy, and then hopefully they will be a little more reliable signal-wise, and they can take you on a bit of a drive. We at the moment are unable to move. Hello, is it fixed?
We're going to have to go back and try.
Right, Brent, you can hear, is now screaming across the bushveld. He has a very powerful voice, does Brent, and they're going to have to go back to the camp to fix it. Okay, good luck. We will carry on walking. I think you'll probably, unfortunately, lose our signal, but we'll sit here for a little bit longer, and we'll enjoy the hippo. It's not often that we're able to watch hippo on foot, of course, and you don't want to come across them in the bush on foot, and certainly as we were approaching the dam, this is one of the things that I kept my eyes peeled for most keenly, because you don't want to come across a hippo in the bush, especially if you're between them and the water. They become very easily threatened and fearful if they are not close to the water, and if they feel like their path to the water is in any way hampered or hindered. Continues to be a rather special morning, I think, and I'm rather hoping there's quite a large build-up of cloud off to the western side, and that's starting to come over the top of this beautiful area here, and you can see that, and I'm hoping it's going to continue to build slowly during the day. I suspect, however, the fairly volcanic low-felt sun will burn that cloud off. Also a little sunbird flying over. It's a very beautiful sort of early summer's morning. Let's try and move slowly across the dam wall here and see if we get any more signal. We'll just see what else we can see. We don't want the hippo to feel threatened. They're going to watch us, definitely. They'll watch us quite carefully. Slowly across, and with any luck, you will still be with us. What I'm hoping to find across here is perhaps Brian, this is going to be a challenge for you with that zoom. There are
Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it as fast as possible to get it sorted and get you back on the vehicle with us.